One thing I always admired about Minecraft is how the game appeals to a large and very different audience. How the game can be liked by almost everyone and how much it can get liked. I have been playing Minecraft for about 9 years now, and I have realized just how much memories I made ever since I first launched the game. From being amazed by its infinite worlds, to the joy of acquiring first iron armor, to absolute happiness from winning the first Bed Wars match with my friends. It's been a long and pretty memorable journey. But if I'd have to pick my favorite era playing the game, it would have been a past year and a half. In the past year, I have played Minecraft in an environment with no rules. Most people would think I am crazy, since no rules means that people can attack you and take everything you have at any given time. Well, if you are wondering how Anarchy is the most fun and most real experience I ever had in Minecraft, then I have a tale for you. An Anarchy tale, if you will. A tale about rising group, a tale about betrayal, about destruction, death and rebirth of server, and a tale of one and only, the great Macraft. Freedom. Nothing more than a fancy word for chaos. On 21st of April 2021, I have for the first time joined a pretty small Anarchy server. With me, I have brought my best friend and right-hand man, Turtle Warrior. After slow and painful wandering around spawn, we decided that the server seemed popular enough for us to call it our new home. After escaping spawn, we stumbled upon what seemed to be a small and long abandoned base. We decided to rebuild it, well, as much as we could, and make ourselves home. We knew that we needed food and gear, and most of all, we needed to be fast, since the base was in what is considered spawn region. We knew that it was only a matter of time before someone will stumble upon our base, same way we did. From nearby village, we rescued 2 villagers and started trading with them for gear and food. It took some time, but we had our much needed items before anything happened to our base. We said goodbye to our humble little home and started our journey. We used Nether Roof to travel to the coordinates negative 44,069 on both X and Z axis. We didn't have an elytra, so we walked the Nether Roof for 4 hours. When we lit our portal, we came to what would soon become our main home. Every sensei is once a student. I arrived to the set coordinates a couple hours earlier than Turtle Warrior. As soon as I loaded the world beyond Nether Portal, I spotted a desert village. Soon Turtle Warrior built a small farm nearby and a villager breeder, which would soon become trading hall. I built a tiny tower and a basic starter house for a couple of items we had. We knew that we needed a elytra, so I messaged a guy named Wobbaloo and took him to our base so we can finish the trade. We were foolish, so we gave him enchanted golden apple and 3 netherite ingots for 2 elytras. He later admitted he thought about griefing our base, but decided not to, since he would get very little enjoyment out of griefing 2 new players. At the time, I didn't really want to play Anarchy because I was grinding Hypixel Skyblock, but Turtle Warrior convinced me to play semi-regular, and thank God he did. I started building the actual base, which was a circle-shaped castle with 4 towers. I also suggested that we will invite other people to the base, since there was a lot of work to do for only 2 players. Turtle Warrior didn't like that idea and said we shouldn't risk the security of base. But after discussing it for a bit, we decided to make a clan. Clan of builders and grinders. We created Ram Clan. With me being in charge of talking with people and trying to verify security of new members, Turtle Warrior was taking care of base and getting necessary resources. Soon I started talking to the guy named Hosta, who was the first ever official member of Ram Clan. He was a very busy person and was base hunting a lot, so he never had time to visit, let alone live at the first RAM base. Trust, a weakness used to exploit moral people. Soon the castle was finished, and I started to think about expanding it in Circle, an idea inspired by Ava Elysium from 2v2t. Summer came, so me and Turtle went on vacation. To make most of it, we left his account AFK on Iron Farm, but while he was AFK, he received a message from King Lizard, leader of a group called THS, or the Turtle Helmet Society. I hopped on his account while he was gone and checked out what was Lizard saying. I figured that THS wanted to merge with Ram Clan, or at least have some sort of connection. I denied merging group into one, but accepted a partnership between groups since I thought it would be beneficial for both groups. That was my biggest mistake on the entire server till this very day. Soon THS members started arriving at our base. They made themselves home and started taking items without asking for permission and not contributing much to the base itself, except for a player named Puck. The longer they stayed, the more I knew what had to be done. I knew that if I asked these guys to leave, they would take what they can and grieve the base. Also, I fought King Lizard on PvP Legacy to see how good he was in Crystal PvP, and unfortunately, he was very good. So I did the only thing I could. I packed my stuff, all items I could take, and Turtle Warrior with me, and we were gone. After we were further than we would probably need to be, I messaged Lizard informing him of what was going on. He was outraged at our betrayal and calling me all sorts of names. I tried staying calm, but at some point he almost manipulated me into giving him the new coordinates. But after sleeping and rethinking everything, I made the right decision to tell him to fuck off. In a place of no rules, reputation is everything. With RAM 2, I decided to be more ambitious, since I had trouble expanding RAM 1 into a better looking base. I decided that we will have 500 by 500 circle bombed to bedrock, on top of which we will build our base, an idea inspired by MU Megabase. Turtle Warrior wasn't being lazy either, he built a villager breeder and a raid farm nearby. He also built stacking raid farm, but sadly it didn't work due to server software. I started interacting with other players a lot more and joining public voice calls in the evening. With some players already knowing RAM from the THS drama, I started building myself a reputation, since I knew that reputation is one thing that really matters on an Anarchy server. With things being at peace for a time, we decided to start adding new members to the group. Puck and Mossy, members from now that THS, joined us and were surprisingly not mad for our betrayal and even understood us. We also got Winter Carrot, Paolo Macbolo and Len. After building and activating a couple of TNT flying dupers, I realized that this base will take a long time to complete. Together with the rest of RAM clan members, we even held the first RAM meeting, and it went pretty well, with Winter Carrot giving us some pretty cool shit in the end. Me and Turtle even spent an entire weekend of playing literally 24/7 just to clear Ocean Monument. At some point, Beautiful's admin of server visited base and checked out my quote-unquote illegal end portal. And then the worst happened. One of members, who I will not name just to piss off and not give the recognition, destroyed a small storage area we had. The damage was minor, but it told us that one of members of RAM was a rat, and since RAM was pretty liked amongst the community and had good reputations, players such as Crypto helped us punish Rat. After he got exposed, Crypto tricked him and trapped him in the void. After that, the player who griefed RAM also got banned because it turned out that he was hacking with the ESP hack. He got punished and I didn't even have to lift a finger. From top hill to rock bottom. After that, we had to move once again. The base was just being started, yet we had to abandon it. I decided that I will make new base first in my single player creative world before I actually make it. This helped me overcome over-ambition that I had in previous base. By Hosta's request, we decided to build a base inspired by Lord of the Rings' Mines of Moria. I was finally free of having to worry for new members and potential rats, since Hosta was taking care of that. I had all my freedom to build, and so I did. The base was coming together nicely, and Turtle even built a very good gunpowder, sugarcane and cobblestone farm. He AFK'd on all of them as much as he could, and I was after getting sent, and together we started selling TNT. With Skatozmi joining base and visiting it, I was really happy with the progress. New members started coming to base, such as Byrat Cooking and Magician Tim. Horta, a basemate, RR member and a good friend of mine, also invited me and Third to a base grief of a huge base he found. Since we were already manufacturing TNT, we decided to supply it for the grief. We brought 2 shulkers of TNT and started destroying the base. Even though I was at my grandma's and was playing on a literally potato PC, I was enjoying the grief. And after 6 months and 3 bases, I was finally the one that was griefing. We had our fun griefing, but karma struck back, and it struck more than it ever could. You never know to value something until it's gone. On 21st of February 2022, admin of server Beautifuls made a Reddit post about selling the server. He has been tricking community and blaming the server hosting team for overcharging him. With not a lot of players playing and the main server donator Kenny leaving server, Beautifuls was just simply not able to pay for the server upkeep. Skatozmi, another YouTuber, later checked the numbers and realized that Beautiful should have a lot of leftover donations from Kenny and probably stopped paying for the server as it was no longer beneficial for him. Skatozmi documented the entire drama very well in detail, and I'll link his video in the description for you to check out. Eventually, server was sold to someone called Netherwall, but since Beautifuls almost sold the server to the most notorious player Deus, most of player base left as soon as the news was public. Mods were so mad that they started giving away creative inventory items, and Mossy even received a lot of netherite from one of the mods and later tried to full-on destroy economy with that. He was banned in a flick of a finger, and so were all the mods. After Deus backed out of the deal and Netherworld bought the server, it was already too late, and the majority of player base, myself included, left the server. I couldn't believe it. All this work, building bases and relationships, was now gone. Ram Clan moved to EU Survival under the leadership of Hosta, but we had no gear, base, and most importantly, no reputation. I was too exhausted to redo everything once more, so I stopped playing. Every beginning eventually meets its end. As said, RAM under the leadership of Hosta moved to EU Survival. Members of RAM built a couple of bases and one of them got accidentally leaked by Mossy. There is such a joke, it is really famous and liked the entirety of our Anarchy servers community. When he got banned, a lot of people, me included, were really sad. After I left RAM for the final time, Hosta felt like his hard work keeping clan together was over-criticized and underappreciated. He states, "I got the hunch that everyone thinks they could run the group better than what I was doing. I said fuck it, I put RAM on the Mayo on EU Survival. Nobody had the balls to make the decision I had to make, and I got zero gratitude from anyone. AO Drill 2, he basically said I was mismanaging the group. Fuck that, I left that dumb shit." So after being treated poorly by new members of RAM, he figured that it was not worth spending effort keeping RAM together when members were ungrateful. It also probably didn't help that Mossy leaked RAM and got away with no bad reputation on any real consequences. Just like me, Hosta had realized that running an Anarchy group wasn't easy, and when I couldn't do it any longer, at least I had him to jump in. But when he got fed up with it, there was nobody to save it. So RAM eventually met its inevitable end, approximately 1 year after its creation. Anarchy, an unscripted story. After a while, I returned to the new Reborn server, but the point of this video is not centered around the Minecraft server. I hadn't even mentioned the name of the server once. The point is that even if something as simple as sandbox game about surviving, you can connect with people and make bonds, groups, trust them and betray them, put everything at risk even though people tell you it's just a video game. I documented my journey on Simply Vanilla Anarchy server for two reasons. First, I did it because I wanted to give you guys some backstory and background information for my next two videos. But I also did it to show you that sometimes we find joy in things other people would consider weird. But why would that matter? That doesn't make every place we visit, every build we build or destroy any less special. It doesn't matter that people we interact with are on the other side of the world and the only reason we are even talking to them is because we met them in a video game. It doesn't matter if our tale is told through the existence of a Minecraft server. All that matters is we do something that we consider great. That we don't just sit and watch other people be happy while slowly falling an endless feeling of depression. I guess my point being that sometimes it's little things that matter. So embrace them now, because maybe one day you won't be able to.